All right, guys. So I wanted to quickly show you basically how to find video ideas. This is one of the most common questions I get on the channel. How do you find video ideas that are very likely to go viral? What is the icon method? Because I say, the icon method is the main way that I find these video ideas. And I kind of went over a few videos just like going over how I do it. But in this video, I'm really going to break it down and give you some exact examples. So this is an example right here. I do this in my training. So this is part of my training. But this is an example of a video that did extremely well for me. This video got over 3 million views, I think nearly 4 million. And basically what I do, guys, is I find videos that, one, I'm just going to just do Google Docs here just to make this very, very obvious how this is done. So I'm just going to do a blank doc. So the icon method, because I know this is like very easy, but you have to nail the steps. Like you have to nail every single step. So one, you want to find a video that did well. Okay. So depending on your niche, this might be, 100K or more views, depending on your niche. In some niches, maybe it'd be 30K views. In some niches, it might be 100 million or a million views, right? But it did well. Okay. Obviously, you want to find a video that did well. And two is from a small channel. So if you're just starting, try to find channels that are 30K subs or less, maximum of 100K subs, like absolute max. Okay, absolute max. Okay, and why do we do this? Because we want to find channels that had a video that popped off despite the fact that the channel does not have a large following. So they don't have like a loyal audience and they had a video that popped off. Because once you have a loyal audience, your videos are much more likely to do well. Okay, so we want to control for that. And we want to show like, okay, this video did well on its own and it did well for a channel that's small without a big audience. Okay, and then three is pretty bad. Is either okay or preferably bad. Okay, yes, we are looking for bad videos. So what does this mean? This means thumbnail's bad, title's bad, intro is bad, sound is bad, bad lighting, not in focus, rambly, like they're not really making points and stuff like that, right? This kind of thing. These are the types of things we're looking for. Not necessarily all, but as many as possible. Okay, we're trying to look for the more the merrier, right? We want it to be bad. Okay, very important, and this is extremely important to understand. So we want it to be bad. So let's look at an example from my channel, right? So you got these three things down. They did well from a smaller channel, and it's either okay or preferably bad. Like we prefer the ones that are actually bad. Sometimes we'll settle for okay though. Now, why, by the way, why are we looking for videos that are bad? Because we want to isolate the one thing that's the most important. The reason we do this is because we want to steal one thing and one thing only. The idea. We're only stealing the idea. We are not stealing anything else from the channel, okay? It's just the idea, guys, okay? We're not stealing anything else other than the idea. We're not stealing the thumbnail. We're not stealing the title. This is something I see people mess this up all the time, so I'm just emphasizing it, just in case you weren't paying attention. Maybe your Uber Eats delivery just knocked on the door, and you stopped paying attention for a second, right? So let me just repeat this again. The only thing we're stealing is the idea. You are not stealing the thumbnail. You're not stealing the title. You're not stealing the intro. You're not stealing the content of the video or anything else. We are just stealing the idea. So let's talk about what I did in this video. So I found this video is obviously it was like 4 years back. I screenshotted this at the time, and that's why I have the screenshot now. YouTube even looked different back then. And this video had about 760,000 views. So really good amount of views. The channel had about 10.6K subscribers. And so it was a pretty small channel, not a huge channel by any means. And the title was okay. This is an okay title, The Most Worthless College Majors. Simple, punchy. It's an okay title. Nothing wrong with it. The thumbnail is atrocious. The thumbnail's terrible. It literally is just a still shot of the video. It looks like, just literally a still shot of the video. It's terrible. When you clicked on the video, now unfortunately the video is not available anymore, so I can't show you guys this, but I don't think Loom would work with sound anyways. But when you clicked on the video, it was recorded with a potato. It was recorded with a very old like VHS recorder. It looked awful. The sound was really bad as well. It sounded like he was recording straight out of the camera without any mic. So the sound was really bad too. He was also rambling. I believe he was drinking alcohol while he was recording the video. And yeah, it just wasn't that good, right? Objectively, it was not a good video. And yet it got 760,000 views. How? How did that happen? How did it get 760,000 views in 2 years? I think at the time it was like 2 years old. It's because the idea, guys. The idea is the number one most important thing. If you have an idea that people actually care about, then the video itself can be pretty mediocre and it's going to do okay. But if you have an idea that people don't care about, your video could be incredible and it's not going to do that well most of the time. So the idea is the number one thing that makes or breaks a video. Now, comedians are really good at understanding this, because what comedians will do is they will find things that everybody is thinking, but nobody has said out loud yet, or very few people have said it out loud yet. So everybody's thinking it, but nobody said it out loud yet. That's what comedians will do. You want to do the same thing except for video ideas. Everybody's thinking about it. Everybody was at the time, they were thinking, man, college, is it really worth it? I mean, it's so expensive. My older sister went to college and now she works as a Starbucks barista. Like, really? Is it really worth it for me to go to college? Like, that's what a bunch of people were thinking. That's the idea that people had. But not very many people were making content on it until I came along, and then I made a ton of content on it. But, so it's been covered now. But yeah, that's what this guy did. He made a video. It was terrible. It was a really bad video, but it did fairly well because he found a really good idea. Now, you don't want to be the first one to do this. You want to be the second one. Be the second one. Don't be the first guy to go through and clear out the bamboo in the jungle and create a road, and it takes you like 3 days to get through, I don't know, like 30 meters of jungle. Be the second guy who walks through in 10 seconds, right? Let other people do the hard work of figuring out what ideas are best. They are the ones who establish proof of concept. And then you steal the one thing, which is the idea, and you make a video on it. That's what you want to do. So that's exactly what I did. The Most Worthless College Majors, what did I do? I changed it to The Most Useless Degrees. So degrees is very similar to college majors, of course. Essentially the same thing for 99% of practical purposes. I actually made a good thumbnail, because the thumbnail is important, right? So you can see this is a pretty good thumbnail. One thing to note about this, guys, don't use too many colors in your thumbnails. Actually, I'm not going to do like a whole video. I'll do a whole video on thumbnails later. But yeah, don't use too many colors and stuff in your thumbnails. Same thing, this X here, like you can see I have a prop. So this is actually my college degree. So I've got a prop here. And this can be, really good to have props. You can notice like there's some space in the top left and space in the bottom right. So it's very sort of like, it looks really nice, right? It's really nice to look at because it's balanced, right? There's the space in the top left and the bottom right. And then the intro, if you watch the video, you can go watch the video. The intro is well thought out. It's good. It's not something that I didn't put any thought whatsoever into. And then the video itself is I put a little bit of humor into it and stuff like that. And the video popped off. And the video did exceptionally well. So Yeah, this is an example of me using the icon method. Now, let me just go ahead and kind of do this live really quickly. So I'm going to take an example from one of my clients. So I have a client. I'm not going to say who it is just because I don't want anyone to compete with them. But I have a client who's in the Airbnb rental niche. And so you can kind of look through these, and I happen to know that this is kind of like a niche that I was just looking at this, so I kind of know like there's certain keywords. But you type in some keywords like this: Airbnb rental. Another keyword that's related to it is Airbnb arbitrage. Et cetera, et cetera, right? So you type in like the obvious keywords that are related to it. And sometimes you might go down and find some other keywords. So Airbnb rental, right? And then you look down here, you see this one here. It's 7,000 subs. So that it is a small channel. And by the way, this is vidIQ. This is a free version of vidIQ that shows the subs. So it's 7,000 subs, 136K views. It was posted 10 months ago, so it hasn't had that long to get the views. So it meets the standards. It's good enough, meets the standards. The thumbnail is okay. It's not a terrible thumbnail by any means. And then I would probably click on the video. I don't know if you guys were able to hear that, but I could probably click on the video, just watch the first little bit of it. And it does look like he did actually put a good amount of effort into this video. Like this is like, it's a pretty high effort video. He's definitely putting some effort into it. So this would be an okay option. It wouldn't be absolutely incredible, but it would be an okay option. Just because the reason it's not absolutely incredible is because it does look like he put a good amount of effort into the video. Like there's good editing. He has good audio, et cetera, et cetera. So good lighting as well. So, but the thumbnail's not great. The title's okay. And the numbers are good. Small channel, 136K views. Yeah. So let's go ahead and move on real quick here. See if we can find some better ones. So this one would not be a good, and again, I would just do this instantly. So I'd look at the views and the subscribers. That's the first thing I look at. This one's no good because it's 280K subs and 133K views. So that's no good. So here we go. Okay. So this one looks really promising. So this is 250K views, 15K subscriber channel, and 2024 risks beginner's guide to starting an Airbnb business. So this one actually looks pretty promising. So this is one that I would look into. Okay, so, and you guys can see I already watched this one. So yeah, I was already looking at this for my client. So yeah, it's she's a little bit out of focus. It's also a little awkward. Her face is in the middle of the frame here. The audio is okay. There's not a whole lot of editing. The editing is very basic. It's basically just like, words popping up on the screen and stuff. So this one would be a pretty decent candidate. I would definitely put this one. And what I do, guys, by the way, is I just like screenshot it. So I'd have a Google Doc open and I'd just screenshot it and I'd copy it and paste it into the Google Doc. And then I'd also copy the link address so it's easy to access. You can also use Asana. I've used Asana for this process in the past as well. All right, let's check this out. Okay, let's go down here. Okay. So just to tell you guys what I'm doing, I'm quickly scanning these to basically like see the subscriber to view ratio. I'm also looking at the title. So this one's not really related. So that's no good. Exposed Airbnb. What is an Airbnb business? And so I'd do this for a while. I'd keep going down and I'd keep looking and, looking for really good ones. And, I do this for a while. Just for the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and change the keyword here to Airbnb arbitrage. So I'm just going to go ahead and change it to Airbnb arbitrage, start looking. Okay. Started. Okay. Here. Now, one thing you can do, this sometimes it works. It really depends on the keyword. Is you can sort by view count, and sometimes it'll be too broad in general and it won't work. So sometimes you can't do that. But in this case, it looks like it might actually work here. So yeah, so this one, how I made 3 million in 6 months as a 20-year-old female entrepreneur. This one could be good, like you telling your story, but obviously she's got some pretty crazy numbers. So it might not be good for everybody. But if you're somebody watching this, you're already a successful entrepreneur, this would be a phenomenal one for you to do, something very similar to this. And you can see like 1.5 million views, 86K subs. That's excellent. The actual truth about rental arbitrage. So this one is, 4-to-1 ratio. The too many subscribers for a new channel. If you had a bigger channel, this one might be good. Oh, this one's excellent. First month on Airbnb, what we learned. So this is kind of like the raw, authentic content where you're kind of sharing your journey of learning. But the thing is you could actually make this retrospectively, like what we learned our first month of Airbnb, and then you talk about what you learned when you started 2 years ago or something, right? So you can make it retrospectively or retroactively. I don't know. Maybe I'm using the wrong word. But yeah, look at the ratio here, 612K views, 24K subscribers. The thumbnail's okay because it's actually decent. Let's check it out. Okay, the audio is actually pretty bad. The audio is pretty bad. The editing is super basic. Yeah, this is a really good candidate. The lighting's okay. It's not amazing, but the focus is okay. It looks like she might be a little out of focus. But yeah, this one's actually pretty good. I would definitely consider doing this one. So yeah, this is basically what I do. You saw I came up with probably like 3 to 5 video ideas just in a few minutes there. And you just do this, you just keep going and you just look for video ideas and that's how you find them. This is the number 1 method to find good video ideas. Of course, you want to find a bunch of different keywords, right, related to your niche. That's pretty easy to do. There's like a lot of different keyword tools. You could use vidIQ, for instance. So I'll just kind of show you guys how you do it on vidIQ real quickly. I'm just giving you guys the sauce today. So you'd go to keywords on vidIQ. This is a paid tool, unfortunately, but you go Airbnb arbitrage, and then you go related keywords, and it'll basically tell you a bunch of different related keywords, right? So rental arbitrage, how to start an Airbnb, how to Airbnb, et cetera, et cetera. So you type a bunch of these in on YouTube and then see what pops up, basically. So that's basically how it's done. That's obviously there's a little more to it than that, but that's a really quick start guide on how to do this. There's some things that you want to keep in mind. One thing, for instance, is if the person making the video is especially attractive, for instance, you probably, that might be the reason why they're getting the video. If the video is from a foreign country, if you see it's from India or the Philippines and that's not where your target demographic is, don't remake the video. Usually not a good idea to remake the video and stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty much how to do it, guys. And I will go ahead and refer people to this video whenever they ask.